Good day to you, my lords and ladies, and to Lord Commander Pyrpk, and today I will be making a complete build guide. This is specifically for assassins. Now, as you can see, I've unequipped basically everything, and we will be starting right now. But first, let's go to our friend Kashpar, because he is gonna help us today. So, we will be starting from artifacts this time, and those are like almost the most important things in this game. Now, this is really important. Epic artifacts are always better than rares, so if you have epics, equip them. Legendaries are better than epics, so if you have one legendary artifact, equip it. If you have all three legendaries, as I do over here, simply use Access, because Access is currently the best active legendary artifact, of course. If you don't have Access, go with Thorin's Crown. If you don't have Thorin's Crown, then you can try using Crown of Winter Roses. Okay, now let's go with passives. This is basically the same. If you have epics, they are better than rares. If you have legendaries, they are better than epics. But pause the video for a second. If you have every legendary artifact, you have to know that Dark Sister is mainly meant for knights, Ruby is meant for assassins, and Tunic is meant for sellswords. If you have any of those three that are more reforged than Broken Sword for your specific class, use them. But generally, the Broken Sword is one of the best passive artifacts. So, as you can see currently, my Broken Sword is most refined sword over here with level 4 refinement, and that's why I'm basically prioritizing the Broken Sword over every legendary artifact. So I'm gonna equip the Broken Sword for my build now. The next step is set research. This is also really important, and we're gonna pause this video right now. So basically, top 3 sets to have are Savant, Champion and Brute. Basically Savant is number 3 and Champion and Brute are like first place. So on my Knight, I'm having primary Brute and I'm using secondary Champion. But on my Assassin, I'm using primary Champion and secondary Brute. I mean, the difference could exist, and it probably exists, but should not be that big if you are maining any of those two sets. For this build, I'm gonna use secondary set effect as Brute, and I will be making champion equipment. So maybe one day I can switch Brute to Savant if I need some more active skill damage, let's say, on my Assassin, and that's why I'm basically maining champion this time. Next step is trade tree. Now let's go over trade tree. Basically, we don't need support trade tree, we don't need defensive trade tree. We simply are gonna put every point into attack and increase our attack power as much as we can and increase our critical strike rate as much as we can. Then we are simply gonna follow the path through the middle. Then we are gonna increase our attack power even more, critical strike rate, also increase it to the maximum. Simply continue following the path down the middle, and then again increase attack power as much as you can, increase critical strike rate to the maximum. Then we have to take this one, and then in the end we also have really good nodes as well. Ferocious Strike for combo players, this one in the middle for active skill damage, and also this one on the right is not that bad node, but I mean this one in the middle gives you 3 rage every second and plus increases your active skill damage, so we are gonna go with this one in the middle, of course. And then simply with every other point left, firstly we are gonna increase our damage dealt against bosses to the maximum, and then other points that are left we are gonna increase our critical strike damage. Next thing that we are gonna go over are active skills. Currently, as you can see, I'm using Turning Kick, Ambush and Cutting Mutilation, but this is not the most optimal build actually, and I will be switching this build generally to one of the best assassin builds, and that is basically to use Turn Kick, Ambush and Poison. So we are gonna focus on Turn Kick, Ambush and Poison this time and try to get reforgement effects on those 3 skills. Now, as you can see, every skill has a reforgement effect. And those are effects that you get on your equipment when you reforge it. Basically, we are gonna reforge some equipment in this video as well and try to get some effects, so definitely stay with me. This is literally like complete build guide video, and I'm gonna explain everything. Now, as you can see, in turn kick, we are gonna watch for Skull Bash, and we are gonna see if we can have turn kick enhanced, because those two are best reforge effects for turn kick. We don't want to lose any reforge effects, like to have some retreat or cutting mutilation reforge effect, because we want to have ultimately powerful build. And as for ambush, we are gonna see if we can get weakened, because it increases enemies damage taken by 10%. This is basically first level. The bigger the level, the more percent it increases. Ambush enhanced is not that much important, honestly, because it's simply ambush doing it twice. So yeah, it's enough if you do ambush once and if you have that weaken effect. And also for poison, we are gonna see if we can get stacking poison bit, because as you can see, when we activate poison skill, it will increase our attack power, and the more levels we have, the bigger the increase of our attack power as well. So basically, we are gonna watch for 4 reforgement. First one is turn kick enhanced, second Skull Bash, also for turn kick. Third one is weaken for ambush, and the fourth is basically stacking poison. We have 6 equipments, so we should be more than able to get 4 of them on those 6 equipments. Now also simply put every point into turn kick over here, because turn kick is the strongest out of those 3 skills. We want to have the biggest damage possible. Any other book left, simply put it into ambush to give some more attacking damage. Now let's go with basic skills. First things first, increase the strike combo to level 9 or 10, simply so you can unlock those masteries over here. And we are gonna go over masteries real quick, but first we need to learn what is basically Bloodburst. As you can see, assassins specifically have Bloodburst and Poison. This is class specific, and what Bloodburst means, as you can see, it can be stacked 8 times. That means when you hit your enemy once, you give him 1 Bloodburst. When you hit him twice, you give him 2 Bloodbursts. You can hit him 8 times and give up to 8 Bloodburst stacks. And then, once you use your active skill, you are removing those Bloodbursts, but in return, you are getting 45% of damage of attack power per stack. So, if you stacked 8 stacks of Bloodburst and then used turn kick, you will in total gain 360% of attack power on your turn kick. So basically you will have ultimately strong turn kick. Also, assassin class is specific with poison, and what poison means is that you can also stack up it to 5 times, and then you can apply poison stun, which means you can daze or stun enemy after 5 attacks. And then also poison increases daze damage taken, which means that you are gonna give more daze damage to enemies with poison, which is also really good. And now this thing with corrosion, I don't know, actually I do not understand corrosion that well, so it would be really good if some assassins are watching this video and are willing to share some corrosion tips with us, and if it's even important. Now that we know that what is Bloodburst stacking, we know what is trash and what is Poison Dart over here. So definitely Poison Dart gives me more strike combo damage, and this time I'm gonna of course level up Poison Dart. Also, you cannot increase 2 masteries at the same level at the same time, because you can only pick 1 and have 1, which is also important to know. On the level 6 mastery, I'm definitely as you can see, amplification gives you simply damage on your strike combo, so definitely I'm gonna increase amplification over here. And then on the level 9 mastery, elimination gives you active skill damage, and recover gives you rage when you defeat an enemy. So yeah, I'm gonna go with elimination and have some active skill damage as well after defeating an enemy with combo strike. And then simply put every other point into strike combo, increase the strike combo damage, which is really useful, trust me. And then with some points left, simply put them into special attack to increase your mighty strike damage or sneak attack damage. Now that we've finished skills, let's go with amulets. Amulets are really important, and as you can see, I have Epic Wrath and Legendary Grasp. I cannot get that Legendary Wrath, I don't know why, but it's simply RNG and it's gonna take like a year, and I hate that, man. But however, if you can get legendary Wrath Amulet, use legendary Wrath Amulet, because it will increase your attack skill damage for 20%. Currently this Grasp one increases my strike combo damage for 20%, but because of random effects I'm simply maining this one instead of the purple, because this one gives me 20% damage against dazed targets, and as assassin you are dazing enemies a lot, so definitely this one makes sense, and plus also it increases critical strike damage, which is also really good. Now let's go with jewelries. As you can see, I have a lot of necklaces, and best necklace to have is, like, in my opinion, is Sunstone. Now my Sunstone is level 5, and the bigger the level, the more attack power you can get on your necklace, and attack power is really important in this game. So as you can see, I'm gonna use Jade one. Even though Moonstone necklace is really good, it increases active skill damage by 6%. This is like base skill for Moonstones, and it also increases damage by 8.6%, but the Moonstone one has lower attack power than the Jade necklace, and plus Jade one is increasing my critical strike rate by 4%, but also increasing my attack power by 7.5%, which means that currently I'm gonna pick Jade and I'm gonna use Jade one, but definitely once Sunstone necklace reaches level 10, I'm gonna switch to Sunstone. As you can see, Sunstone basically has critical strike rate increase as base effect, and then in those random effects, Sunstone has active skill damage increase, which is basically Moonstone, then has attack power increase rate, that also Jade one has, but Sunstone is already better, and plus it has critical strike damage increase. So definitely Sunstone is the best one out of those three, but lacks attack power currently. So firstly I'm gonna upgrade it to level 10, and then I'm gonna definitely switch to Sunstone instead of Jade, because when you are making your build, you are looking that your jewelry, I mean necklaces and rings, earrings are not important because they give defensive stats. In your rings and necklaces you are always gonna look for critical strike rate increase, attack power increase, damage dealt against bosses increase, overall damage increase, then critical strike damage increase, and that's basically what you want to look for in those rings and necklaces. So that's why I'm gonna definitely pick Sunstone one, because it has the most. It has critical strike rate increase, critical strike damage increase, attack power increase, and plus active skill damage increase, which is the best one so far. Now as for earrings, as I said, earrings are not that important, but if you can get Sunstone earrings because they increase your critical strike rate, and Topaz earrings because they increase your critical strike damage, it can be really good. So if you can get those two, it can be awesome. If you can get Moonstone earring, it's also really good. It increases your active skill damage. So see if you can get any three of those. But substats are literally not important because they give defense effects. And now for rings, I currently have two really awesome rings, so I'm not gonna go over other rings. Basically my Topaz ring gives critical strike rate, critical strike damage increase, attack power increase twice, and strike combo, which is not that bad, I mean, and I'm gonna equip that one. And as for my Topaz over here, it also increases critical strike damage and then rate 2 times, and also again critical strike damage and attack power, which is also really good and what we are looking for in our rings and necklaces. So yeah, definitely I'm gonna use them. Now as you can see, we miss the final part of our build, and the most important part, basically our equipment. And what's really important with equipment is this. Basically you want to have legendary weapons, and helmet, armor, glove and boots are not that important. You can have tier 1 boots, tier 1 rare boots that have turn kick plus, and simply use them instead of tier 6 legendary boots. So definitely armor is not that important, but weapons are really important. So basically you want to have the legendary weapons, of course, with most attack power, and that's what you wanna look for. And over here, as you can see, I'm having tier 5 boots that have turn kick enhanced, and that's basically what we are looking for. Now let's go with gloves, and as you can see currently on these gloves I already have weaken, which is also really useful. We need weaken for ambush, we wanted weaken, and what weaken does is basically for next 10 seconds our damage against that enemy will increase. So definitely good, we have really good gloves. Now as for armor, as you can see I have stacking poison on this champion armor, which is also really awesome because we needed stacking poison. And we will be using poison, which means when we activate this poison, what stacking poison does is it increases our attack power by 10% for next 20 seconds. Also I have ambush enhanced, but I don't need that ambush twice. Once is enough to activate the weaken, and also I have agile movement, that's also not that important. So we will be going with stacking poison, even though it's not fully reforged, it's not that also important to be fully reforged. The main thing that we have is stacking poison on our armor, and that's cool. We already have turn kick enhanced, stacking poison and ambush. Now we only need skull bash, and let's see if we can have skull bash on something or we have to craft it. And as you can see, my helmet has cutting mutilation, so we won't be using this helmet currently, which means that we have to craft new helmet, of course. Now let's go with our throwing daggers, and as you can see, this one is legendary and has agile attack, which is not that optimal because we are not using agile movement in our build, and those throwing daggers are only good because of active skill damage increase down here, almost for 10%, and that's also really good. But as you can see, attack power is like minimal, and thanks to RNG I had 3 daggers and all 3 of them were 256, and yeah, I mean RNG. So we will be switching those daggers with tier 6 epic daggers, of course, because tier 6 can give us more attack power, and we just have to reforge it twice and we can then roll our effects, which is also really good. So those daggers won't be important in this build, of course. And now as for normal daggers, this one has upper hand on cutting mutilation, and actually we are not using cutting mutilation, which means that we have to change these daggers as well. So we are gonna go and see if we can get tier 6 epic daggers, because attack power on this one is also not optimal, is really bad. So definitely we want to have the biggest attack power daggers, if possible also legendary daggers. So definitely we are looking for that. The more attack power we have, the stronger we are. And also this reforge effect is not that optimal for our build, but I mean those substats as active skill damage increase and critical strike rate increase are really good. So we will see what we can get over here. Okay, so let's craft some helmets, throwing daggers and normal daggers, and let's see if we can ultimately make our build ultimate. So let's go to our friend Casper, let's craft some champion tier 6 rare helmets, of course. And I'm gonna craft 5 of them right now. Why we are doing this? Well, because of reforgement. So we are gonna reforge them and see if we can get like skull bash on them, because we are currently having turn kick enhanced, but we need skull bash. Okay, so definitely always reforge, I mean use the strongest one for reforgement and reforge the weakest one with the strongest one. And basically we got destruction 1 on turn kick, which is not bad because it's connected to turn kick. And as you can see, it inflicts corrode. Well, I don't have any idea what corrode actually means, and I would love that if someone could like explain this to us. But yeah, that's our first reforgement. Let's see if we can get something better. Let's take the strongest once again and reforge that destruction one. So opening spotted for cutting mutilation, we don't need that skill definitely. And corrode armor on poison. Well, this one is not that bad. It increases dazed damage. I mean, stacking poison would be better for sure, but I think I'm gonna equip this one for now. But definitely I'm gonna see if I can get some better helmets as well. Now let's go and let's see if we can craft some epic tier 6 champion throwing daggers. As you can see, it can also go up to 324 attack power, which is much better than that legendary one that I currently have. And yeah, first one already has 252 attack power. Let's craft some more, because it's not that optimal actually. We need more attack power, but I also need some more pelts. Let's quickly travel to Crow's Nest and let's exchange those pelts. I can currently craft 3 of them, which is also really awesome. Nice. So let's go back to Casper and continue our crafting. So what is the next one gonna bring? Nice, 288. This is like, well, second best. Okay, not that bad. Let's craft one more. 288 again, which is also really fine. Wow. I mean, not the maximum amount, but 288 not that bad as well. Let's reforge it once. Let's take the strongest one and reforge it with the weakest one, so we can see the reforge effect. And it is, wow, poison attack enhanced, I mean, and plus attack power increase rate. Wow. Well, those throwing daggers are really awesome, and definitely I'm gonna lock them. I'm gonna log them and probably use them one day in the future. We can also craft one more, so I'm for sure gonna craft one more and see if I can get the maximum attack power from that one. But as you can see, poison attack enhanced is also really great, and attack power increase rate by 5%. I mean, this one is really awesome. And crafting, okay, I need some equipment fragments. Let's go into the alien shop and buy some tier 6 equipment fragments. Alien shop is really useful, so awesome, we bought some. So crafting next, throwing dagger, and boom, the strongest one, the max attack power, which is really great and really awesome. So I'm gonna take that one and reforge it with the other one. Okay, and destruction on turn kick, okay, and damage dealt against bosses increased by 6%, which is also good. Okay, really fine, really good dagger as well. And yeah, I've got 2 really good daggers, throwing daggers. But this one, destruction, basically is connected to corrode, and I have no idea what corrode means, but for sure, yeah, we are gonna use this one. So I don't have any more pelts, and I don't want to reforge that poison enhanced one, so I will be planning in future to craft one more throwing dagger and to like reforge it twice, and then re-roll those effects and see if I can get something better. But for sure, yeah, I've got 2 like really awesome throwing daggers, but I'm gonna use the one with maximum attack power, but definitely I should give it a try to the other one as well. So I'm gonna see if the other one is also that good. Unfortunately, I don't have any pelts, any tier 6 epic pelts anymore, and I cannot craft that tier 6 normal dagger, so that also I will have to do one day in the future to make my ultimate build. But so far you've seen that we've got that one helmet effect. Honestly, yeah, I'm not that much satisfied with that one helmet effect that we have, and I want to go for School Bash. So let's see if we can maybe get that one. Let's quickly go to the Alliance shop. Let's craft 6 of them and let's keep reforging them. Let's see if we can get some School Bash maybe. Boom, destruction on turn kick. Again, corrode, I don't have idea what this means, unfortunately, so let's continue reforging. Let's use this currently reforged one. Boom, opening spotted, cutting mutilation, not that optimal. Again, boom, efficient movement to the ambush for ambush. Well, not that bad, but not that good. We have 2 left, and ignite weapon enhanced. Wow. Okay, this one will be useful one day in the future for sure, so I'm gonna log that one as well. And let's craft some more, because I need that School Bash. Boom, let's continue reforging. Weaken on ambush. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad, but we currently have weaken, so that means that we are gonna continue reforging. Again, the strongest one. Boom, and it's Lethal Strike, I mean, seriously. So let's continue. Agile movement enhanced, I currently have this one as well. Okay, we have 2 left, so boom, School Bash finally. That's really good, that's really awesome, that's what we were looking for. It increases damage by 20%. Okay, so School Bash is awesome. We finally got that one and gonna lock it for sure and gonna equip it as well. Okay, our build is now really good, as you can see, and we have School Bash on turn kick. We have also Distraction, which is really good, and for ambush we have Weaken, which is awesome, and for poison we have Stacking Poison. That's what we were looking for at the beginning, so that's really great. As we all know, this build definitely needs some improvements as well, but in the future, as we play, basically we are getting those resources, materials and stuff, and we are being able to upgrade our assassin. Now, before we continue, this is not the ultimate assassin build, this is simply build guide, and of course I cannot make this build like instantly awesome. I also have to make some changes on this build as well. For example, this jade necklace has to be Sunstone one with some better substats, and this grasp amulet has to be Wrath one with some better substats, but it's basically RNG, and it's simply, you cannot pick that, it basically comes to you once it eventually decides to come. And of course, we've got really good equipment effects as well, but I need of course some more materials to craft some better normal daggers and to see if I can get like maximum amount of damage out of them with some really good reforgement effects like School Bash or Weaken or something. So definitely that's also one thing that I have to improve on my assassin as well. Then for example, a Rabbi as artifact, if I can like have better Rabbi than my broken sword, of course, then I should use a Rabbi on assassin because of Bloodburst stacks as well. And that's basically the way it goes, but this is like build guide, and this is literally guides to guide you. And of course, with grinding, with playing, you will definitely be able to have the best possible build, but those are only directions that you should follow in order to have that awesome build, of course. Now let's test this build. So I've currently used one Guts Heaven as well, so let's see how good can I do with this build and 180k momentum on this Ice Spider, and then we are gonna compare it to some other players. Okay, second strongest with 40%, better than me, 47% of course. He's level 50, so we are gonna check on him and let's see him compared to us basically. Oh, 241k momentum. Okay, yeah, definitely we can say our build is approved because we dealt 7% less and are having like 60k momentum less, which is, I mean, no brainer. So definitely, as you can see, yeah, this build is approved, and especially if we can get those things that I said we should get. Yeah, those were the directions you should follow to make your assassin really ultimate as possible. I also have to grind a lot for assassin as well. I also have to grind for my knight as well, but I mean, there's definitely room for improvement, but currently, as it is right now, this assassin is really powerful. I mean, this is really fine. So that will be it for this video. I hope you learned something. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have fun and goodbye.